On your bolster, chest open, legs where you want them to be. And we'll just continue now to focus on the breath. Full, long, deep in-breath. And releasing the breath. And after a few, you might find that there is a natural pause at the end of the in-breath. Just let that pause be until you feel that you're ready to release that breath and just let it go. And just feel that your face is relaxing, your shoulders are relaxing, your back is sinking down into the mat. So we begin our yoga, bringing body, mind, and breath in one place. So if you find your mind is really jumping around this morning, just stay with the breath. And maybe that breath is becoming deeper, maybe slower. Just stay there. Just settling down, connecting to the breath, aware of the body, aware of the state of mind that you've arrived at. Maybe you're tired and weary and you think, oh, I'd just like to stay here all morning. Maybe you're very fidgety and you want to get onto the more active part of your yoga. So just recognize where you are. Take 3 more very deep breaths. And then slowly we're going to bring our knees into our chest and gently rock on your back. So you can make circles with your knees, or you can take your knees apart, take the knees up towards the armpits. Whatever works for you. Giving your back a nice massage. Maybe lifting the head up towards the knees as well, if you feel that you'd like to do that. This is Apanasana. Whatever feels good for you this morning. Try to stay connected with your breath. And then when you're ready, roll yourself over onto one side and we'll come up onto all fours. So take your all fours tabletop position and let's just take a moment to have a little wriggle there. How's your back feeling this morning? Wriggle into your shoulders. If you wanted to, you could just gently rock backwards and forwards. And try now to engage your abdominal muscles. So we're not just letting the belly hang. I had a cat who had a very wobbly belly that used to sway side to side when she walked, and it always reminds me of that. So when I say let your belly hang, we're not doing that now. We're going to pull it up a little bit and try and suck your bottom ribs in towards each other, so you can feel a little bit of tone there, and just feel the spine lengthening. And we just take a couple more breaths there. Looking down between your hands, try to imagine length from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. One more nice breath there. And then we'll just have a little circle with the tail. Circle one way, circle the other way. And let's just have a stretch, taking the arm up and bring it back down. We'll just take a few. So we're really trying to synchronize the breath with the movement. In breath as you're taking the arm up. And out breath. Down. Let's just take two more there. In breath. And out. Last one. In breath. Reach that arm up. Hold on there for a breath. And slowly, slowly, slowly down. Circle the tail in one direction a couple of times. Circle in the other direction a couple of times. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So taking the arm up just as high as you feel that you can, reaching it up and slowly down. So really try to synchronize breath and movement. And we'll take one more and then hold there for a moment. Just one more breath. And bring the hands slowly down. Have a circle. Rock backwards and forwards. Whatever you feel that you'd like to do now. I know this one doesn't suit everybody with kneeling problems. Don't forget you can always do this one holding onto a chair. And from here, we're going to come up into a dog pose, but we're going to take it very slowly. So pressing your toes down into the mat, lift your knees, turn the abdominals, use the banders, and the knees are just lifted. So you need to really press down with your hands, press down with your toes. Hold on there, try and take your shoulders down away from your ears. One more deep breath, so we're just generating a little bit of heat here and bring the knees down. Take one leg out and stretch it out behind you. Take a breath, bring the knee back. Take the other leg out, stretch it out behind you. Take a breath and back. So we'll come back up into down dog. We'll go all the way to down dog now. So knee bend, lifting the knees slightly and then just pushing yourself all the way up into your down dog. Do whatever you want when you get there. Bending the knees, wiggling the tail. Try to pull in at the abdomen. Take the shoulders away from the ears and look down towards your feet. And really just enjoy that stretch. Stay for a few more breaths if you're fine with that, or come back down onto all fours. Really press through the toes, press through the hands, try to lift the bottom a little higher. And then we're going to bend the knees very deeply, almost like trying to get your knees, your thighs onto your chest. Really deep knee bend, look down towards your feet. Hold on there. Lovely, lovely stretch going on there. Back into your down dog, so you're straightening your legs as much as you need to. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're taking the deep knee bend again. You can take your knees in the direction of your armpits if you want to. Hold on there. Big, big, big stretch. And then we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. The outside, just as close as you can get to it. It might not go that far, just where you get to. You can shuffle your foot along if you need to. And then we're going to do the same. We're going to take the left foot to the outside of the left hand. So we're in a kind of quite a deep squat. Now at this point, you might find that it's very uncomfortable and you'd much rather have your hands on the chair. Otherwise, from here, you can turn your toes out a little bit. And those of you that feel that you're really flexible this morning, you can come down into your deep squat. So I'll just turn around this way so you can see. My feet are about mat width apart, but find your way. Some people love this deep squat, and some people, it really doesn't work so well. So you might not be down nearly as deep as this. You might just have a little squat with your forearms resting on your thighs. Wherever you are, just try and push your bottom away from you and bring your chest parallel to the mat. And we won't stay very long, just long enough to really feel the stretch that's going on. Those of you that are very stretchy this morning, bring your hands into the prayer position and bring the hands into the chest, and that will just give you a little bit extra stretch. So find where you want to be. We'll take a breath. One more breath. And from there, bringing the hands forward. So if you're holding onto a chair or a block, put your hands there. We're going to lift the bottom, lower the head, and we're coming into a forward fold. So bring the legs in closer. Let the knees bend as much as you want to. Swing the arms. And we're just in a forward fold. You could bend one knee, then the other. Be sure that you're just letting your head hang there. Bend the knees very deeply in towards the armpits. Place the hands on the thighs. And then we're just going to straighten up and come all the way up to standing. Nice little stretch there. And we're coming to Samasthiti. Now you can feel we've just generated a little bit of heat there to start with. So breathing into the top of the head. And breathing out down to the feet. And again, breathing into the top of the head. And out to the feet. We're coming to a warrior one position now. You don't need to take your legs too wide apart for this one. So I'm just going to turn my left foot out and my right foot. I'm stepping forwards. And we're just going to work with a little bit of movement, but trying to sync the movement to the breath again. So on your in-breath, you'll take the arms up and you'll nudge that knee forwards, and the out-breath, the leg will straighten and we'll bring the arms back down. So adjust yourself. What you don't want to be doing is putting your weight forwards, especially if you've got dodgy knees. So we really want to think about keeping the weight into the back foot and keeping the body straight. So let's just take your time. Very simply, in breath, the arms come up, the knee comes forwards, and out breath, bring the arms down. Just continue, really focus on the breath and the movement happening all at the same time. Two more. And then we'll just hold our warrior one position for a moment. Again, check where your weight is in the back foot and then press the right foot into the mat. Bring your palms together above your head. Bring your hands into the heart center. And we're going to carry on with the hands together. So the heart center, the hands are in the heart center. On the in-breath, we'll keep the palms together. We'll take the arms up, stretching up and pushing the knee forwards. And on the out-breath, keeping the palms together, we'll bring the hands back to the heart center. Let's just take a few. In-breath, reaching up, bringing the knee forwards. Out-breath, bring the hands back down. Just two more. In-breath. And out-breath. Last one. In-breath, reaching up, holding there, really pushing through the back foot, reaching your fingers high. And back to the heart center. So before we switch on to the other side, we're going to take it into a little balance now. So you might want to just have a look at the screen for a moment or not, it's up to you. We're just going to reach ourselves forwards, putting the weight now into the front foot so that you can lift the back leg. And then you might like to take the arms out. I call this flying warrior. Okay, so when you're ready, same side, we're going to just bend the knee, bring the body forwards gradually so that the back foot can leave the floor. Have something to hold on to if you need to. And if you feel that you're steady there, you can take your arms out behind you. And let's just hold there for a few breaths if you're fine with it. Keep breathing, keep holding, keep stretching the arms and the leg. And then if you've still got your balance, you can bring the knee in, bring that leg in, all the way, hug it into your chest and back down. We'll come to Samastiti. Breathe into the top of the head. And breathe out to the feet. And again, breathe into the top of the head. And breathe out to the feet. So we'll take the warrior position again on the other side. And taking one foot out, turning the other foot slightly out behind you. And let's carry on. So in breath, taking the arms up, pushing the knee forwards, out breath, bringing the arm down. And just continue syncing the breath with the movement, trying to keep the body straight. Just one. Let's hold our warrior. Try to get that tone in the abdomen. Check that your weight is really pushed back into the back foot and then press the front foot down. One more breath there. And straighten the front leg, bring the hands into the heart center. On your in-breath, taking the hands up, bending the knee. Out breath, straighten the knee, bring the hands down. Let's just keep going with the breath. We'll take two more. Last one, take your time. Hands back into the heart center. And we'll take our balance. So bending the front knee, reaching the body forwards, allowing the back foot to leave the floor. Bring the chest down, taking the leg up. Hold on to something if you need to. And if you feel quite balanced, take your arms out behind you. Reach the hands behind, stretch the leg out behind. Just hold there. Hold and breathe. One more breath if you're still there. And if you've still got your balance, or even if you haven't, let's take the leg, the outstretched leg, and take it all the way back, take it into the chest. And we're back to Samasthiti. So pay attention to your shoulders, pay attention to a little tone in the abdomen, pay attention to an open chest and a long neck. And let's just take a couple of breaths. In breath. And out breath, release down to the feet. And then taking the feet a little bit further apart on your mat. We'll just bend one knee, then the other as we swing around. Just swing the arms nice and loose. And just give the legs a little bit of a shake out. And we're coming down, we're taking a little bit longer over the movements now. So this is when I'm going to use the blocks. If you have a kneeling issue, what I've recommended in the past is that you could put something underneath your shin so that you're actually not putting any weight at all on your knee. And that does work for some people. Or otherwise, you can lift the knee and just take the foot out behind you. So this is what we're aiming for, a couple of blocks or bricks or books. And we're coming into this position. And it's not like a lunge. You might like to look at the screen just for a moment. We've got this front leg in exactly this position. So we've got a vertical shin, but the back leg, we're aiming to take out as far behind as possible. So the aim is that we're trying to push down, pushing the groin down towards the floor without changing the position of the front leg. So you need to find your way with this. Some people are really stretchy here and they can take the back leg out a long way. Some people, you're more like in a runner's lunge, as they call it. So this is the position. Find what works for you, because we're aiming to stay here for about a minute. But if you do this at home, you could build up more time. So the idea now is, again, to focus on your breath. And where you feel tension, really try and take your mind to that place, and with the out breath, try to relax. So we're just going to focus on the breath and settle into the pose. And close your eyes if you're comfortable. So it's kind of an edge with this type of passive stretching. It's not like really 100% comfortable. You know that you're working and you know that you're stretching, but equally it's not intense pain. If it's intense pain, then you need to ease yourself out of the posture. But if it's just like, it's not exactly comfortable, you wouldn't want to stay here all day, but as you breathe and as you focus, it's all right. And try to relax into this stretch. And 3 more very deep breaths. So you've got a choice. You can either come out of the pose now onto all four tabletop position, or if you like this stretch, you want to hold a little bit longer, to make it a little bit harder, you can take your hands onto your thigh with the elbows pointing outwards, out away from you, and see if you can sink down even deeper into the posture. It is quite an intense stretch. Relax your shoulders. We'll just stay for a few more breaths here. Relax the shoulders. 3 more breaths. And then placing your hands on your block, tucking your toes under. We're going to step the back leg to meet the front leg. So do it in whichever way is more convenient to you or accessible. And we're coming into a forward fold. And then just let your body hang. You might feel you really want to bend your knees deeply. You might like to swing and sway your arm. Let your head hang. Let's take a few more breaths. And then we'll take the other side. So taking your lunge, taking the foot forwards, taking the leg out behind. Check that the front leg is in place. Check that you've got a completely vertical shin there. And then how far you choose to take your back leg out is up to you. So settle into your position. Don't forget, you can always change it. You can come out of it. And then once you've got set up, just try to look forward. You could even bring your shoulder blades in towards each other as you feel you're lifting your chest a little bit rather than just kind of hanging there. Don't press too hard into the blocks. Try to push down into the groin area. And let's just connect to the breath. Connect to the sensations in the body. It's finding that edge where you know that you are really focusing on trying to relax into the stretch, but it's not desperately painful. Focus on the breath. So you can either come out of the pose, go onto all fours, or maybe into a child pose. If you want to stay a little bit longer, bringing your hands onto your thigh, taking your elbows out sideways, lift the chest, look ahead. Just continue to focus on your breathing. Try and keep your shoulders relaxed. Take 3 more very deep breaths. Really feeling this stretch as you breathe out. And then taking hold of your blocks, tucking your toes under, we're going to step it through, whichever way works for you, and I'll meet you all in a forward fold again. Doing whatever you want to do with those legs, swinging your arms, letting your head hang down, and really focus on your out breath, releasing. And then coming back down, I'll meet everybody on all fours now. Have a little wriggle. And then stretch yourself out onto your front. Make a pillow with your hands, taking your legs a little bit wider, maybe mat width apart, and just roll the legs. And focus on the breath. So we're going to take a posture now, which is like frog's legs, but we're going to do it with just one leg. So call it half a frog. So keep yourself facing down on the mat. Feel your rib cage on the mat. Feel your hips on the mat. We want to keep everything in place. We just want to take the right leg and bend the knee and take it out to the side. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can have a look on the screen. Try not to roll over though, because you're still keeping your rib cage and your chest on the mat. So my leg comes fairly high, but maybe your leg doesn't come very high at all. Maybe it's just out to the side, but virtually straight. So find what works best for you. They're all built differently. If you've got your heel quite close into your body, so you can take the heel out a little bit. So you've got kind of like an L shape with your leg, placing your forehead onto your hands. Or if you really love this stretch, you can take your arms straight out in front of you as well. It just gives more of a stretch. And we'll hold here. So really be steady with your breathing. Every out breath, just trying to relax into this posture. Now, very slowly bringing the leg back in and straight, and then just have a little wriggle on your mat. And before we move on to the other side, we're going to have a stretch in the shoulders. So this one is sometimes called shoelace position. You're going to stretch both arms out, and then keeping the right arm outstretched, taking the left arm, bending it at the elbow and taking it out sideways. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's called shoelace position. You can have a look at the screen if you're not sure. One arm is straight up along the floor and the other one is going outside. So you can really feel that strong pull into the shoulders. And then you can rest your head on your arm. And we're going to stay for a little while. So making the best stretch that works for you. Try not to roll your body over, otherwise you'll lose the stretch. Just breathe into this stretch. Just be aware of every sensation that you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Try to relax the whole body. And then sliding both hands under your shoulders. We'll make a little cobra from here. So pressing through the hands, pressing through the pubis, lifting your chest, bring your elbows close in towards your body. Take a breath there and slowly, 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 slow motion, lowering your body, tucking your chin in. And we'll take this again. So deep in breath, lift the chest, pull the shoulders down, draw the elbows close into your body. Big breath into the chest and slowly, slowly, slowly making your way down. Trying to make yourself longer, like slithering like a snake on the way down. Let the head rest on the mat. So we're going to take the other side of the frog leg, half a frog. So making a nice comfortable pillow with your hands, placing your head on your hands, taking the other leg out where it works for you. So maybe they're not the same on both sides. They're probably not. Try not to roll your body over. Trying to keep your body flat on the mat where you left it. It's just the leg that you're taking out. And again, if you want to straighten your arms in front of you, you can. Bring your forehead onto the mat. And let's just stay and hold on this side. Now I've got my left leg out to the side, and there's always a tendency, maybe you're doing the same, to really clench your right buttock. But try not to. Release that buttock. Try to relax into the strap. Stay with the breath. 3 more big deep breaths. And then very slowly, we're going to straighten that leg back up again. Both legs are out behind you. Have a little wiggle. And we'll take the other side of the shoelace position. So both arms are out in front. Bending the right arm now, sliding it under the left, taking it out to the side. Let your head rest wherever it works for you. And just settling into the pose. You can check on whether you're clenching your buttocks while you're here. And then slowly taking the hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll take 2 more cobras just when you're ready. pressing into the hands, peeling the chest off the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together, drop the shoulders down, look ahead. Big breath. Lowering slowly, slowly, slither like a snake and tuck your chin in. Take a breath. Last one. In breath, we're lifting up. Push through the hands, pull down with the elbows, pull down with the shoulders. Lift the chest, look ahead. Slither down like a snake. And roll over onto your back. And hug your knees into your chest and give your back a lovely massage. Easing your back, however you want. Some people might like to take happy baby pose. Whatever feels just right for you. And then very slowly bring yourself back up to sitting. So we're going to just take one more pose. And for this one, you might like to use your bolster again. You might like to look at the screen just to see where we are with this. I'm placing this block just underneath my hips. Hope you can see okay. This is a brick. It's a bit higher, so maybe 2 blocks or two bricks. Depends on how it feels for you. And then it's like when you make a bridge pose, but we've got the block underneath. So we're going to be here. You might think, oh, I'll just stay here. It's really comfortable. But you might like to increase the stretch by stretching your legs out and stretching your arms out. So some people like to have a higher lift here. So maybe you could go with 2 bricks or blocks and it really stretches the front of the body. But that's quite a severe back bend for some people. Maybe you like to be here but with your knees bent. So whatever you've got available, whatever works for you, take your time now to get into a position that works just right for you. So I'm going down to 1 block or brick. That feels comfortable for me this morning. And then decide whether you want to stretch your legs out straight or not, but feel that lovely stretch through the front of the body. You could make cactus arms, or you could just take your arms up above your head. And once you get into that position, really pay attention to the best stretch in the front of your body that you can make. Let your eyes close once more and let's just settle into our pose. So breathe deeply. Stay really focused on that breath. Relax into the stretch. And again, just a little message. Notice if you're clenching your buttocks at this stage and release. It's quite a tendency that people have. The mind has wandered. Really try to come back to every sensation in the body. and the breathing. We'll take 3 more very deep breaths. Coming out of the pose, bringing your arms down if they are over your head, and bring your feet onto the mat so that you can remove your block or brick, and then hug your knees into your chest, and again just ease that back. The 2 choices now, just to close our practice. You can either from here stretch your legs out and come straight into Shavasana. But if you feel that after that back bend that we've done, that you'd be much more comfortable, you could roll over onto one side and just hug your knees up towards your chest and just settle there. Or if you wanted to, you could come into a child pose and settle there. So make your choice. We're just going to take a couple of minutes just to finish our practice. So find your pose, find the breath again, and relax. And check through the body. With every out breath, allow yourself to relax. So begin to deepen the breath. Before you move the body, just be aware of how you feel at the end of your practice. And slowly start to make whatever movement feels good for you. You can either stay in your position, or if you'd like to, you can come back up very slowly to a seated posture, however you want it to be, and we can close our practice. So just be aware of how you feel at the end of the practice. And when you're ready, taking the hands off and taking them to the heart, bowing forwards. And again, breathing in Breathing out. And once more, reach to heaven, touch to heart, and bow to the earth. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a lovely, lovely day. Sending lots of love, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.